Alright, welcome back to the gear room here at Land & Sea. Last time we caught up with Justin Corric from Daiwa New Zealand. We spoke about the smaller electric reels and we promised that we'd come back to break down the whole range. So that's what we're here to do today. Thanks for coming in, Justin. Let's break down the category. As far as Land & Sea is concerned, Daiwa is absolutely leading the game when it comes to the electric reel category. And I think that stems from the Tanacom 1000 there. It's the most popular electric reel in the world, and it's certainly the most popular within Land & Sea's electric reel category. Now, unfortunately, that is being phased out, but I think you can talk to it from now, but the Tanacom 1200 is an incredible upgrade.
Absolutely, no, you're 100% right, Callum. The 1000 has probably taken the most amount of deep water species in New Zealand for years.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
We've all used one, it's been an absolute workhorse, and to be fair, it did a pretty good innings. And so when a new reel was going to come out to take over this, it had to be something pretty cool, because
pretty
like,
special, yeah.
you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that's where Daiwa was always gone with their stuff.
Yep.
You know, like they're really into it being tough, a workhorse, and just being a staple diet. So the Tanacom 1000, you're right, it was an absolute staple. So the new Tanacom 1200 came out. Okay, now the first thing you would obviously notice with the reel, it's a totally different looking reel.
Absolutely.
So instead of the sort of robot sort of looking style, it's almost like the game reel, like it's gone round.
More of that barrel style.
Yeah, and it's you'll notice as well the spool size and diameter looks a lot different. So one of the main things I've done with this is the motor on the old reel was on the outside to an extent. The motor in this, they've actually put inside the spool.
Okay.
So that's given a couple of really cool features. One of them, it reduces the size in the front.
Of course.
But the biggest one when you use it, it's quietened the reel down literally like 50%. Like it's a lot quieter than its predecessor. The other thing too is by making the spool bigger, this has gained about a 250 metre of PE8 extra capacity on the reel. So there were a few people that said, look, hey, you know, especially your drone guys now that are sending drones out a long way, they're sort of saying, look, you know, around 750 metres, we're tapping out a bit. These here will take a full 1,000 metres of PE8. That's a really big capacity. So it's one of the main differences. Also, Pat, our service guy, he's taken these apart like countless times, and he said the water sealing in these is far superior than what it was on the 1000. Like I said, they had to make a lot of changes to it to make it better. So they have made a huge amount of changes. You've also up to a 25 kilo drag on that now, so it's able to handle you know, a lot bigger species. Also, because of the diameter change, you've got a faster retrieve speed as well.
Of course.
So yeah, so this thing here, this is becoming like the new workhorse, and to be fair, you know, whenever you bring a new reel out and it's got such a hype to live up to, this reel has definitely lived up to the hype.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be sad to see the Tanacom 1000s go, but it sounds like, as always, Daiwa's absolutely nailed the upgrade there.
Absolutely, we're stoked with the 1200. The performance in it has just been faultless, and it's everything we expected. The new predecessor, you know, was amazing, but this here has just come out and it's blown us away. So it's wicked. It's sad as it was to see the 1000 go. We're really happy to see the Tanacom 1200 come into the lineup.
Yeah, awesome. So another question we get quite often is the difference between the Tanacom 1200 and the Seapower 1200, because I mean, from the outside looking in, it's the same thing with a different paint job.
Blue, I know.
Some people say blue, some people say purple. But
yeah, I mean, that's a fair question, Cal, like, because to be honest, it's one of our biggest questions we get asked, because for all intents and purposes, if you look at the two reels, apart from the, you know, the shiny machined aluminium star drag and lever, they do look exactly the same, and they're the same body, they're just a different colour, but that's where the differences do stop. So the one thing with the Seapower, and if you're going after those really big bass, big pucker, and you're putting a lot of load on it, this is the reel for you, because this here has about 30% more power because it's running the mega twin motor that is in the Seaborg. So it's a lot more power in this motor. It also has another 6 bearings on it and another 5 kilos of drag. So this thing, you know, it is a big step up, even though they look similar. People that are wanting that extra power, going up to the Seapower is definitely the reel for you.
Yeah, and the name speaks for itself.
Absolutely, yeah.
Power in the sea. Yeah, so it's obviously quite a significant power upgrade from the Tanacom into the Seapower.
Definitely.
So then we step from that Seapower range into the Seaborg range. Now, I mean, if Tony Stark was an electric reel, that's him.
That's his face. Totally.
So, I mean, it looks blingy, looks incredible. You can tell just from the aesthetics of it that it's a much more expensive reel, which often comes with a lot more features. So
yeah, for sure.
What are we dealing with here?
So yeah, as far as this reel goes, it looks stunning. Like it almost looks too good to go use.
Yep.
You know, and so this does have the Mega Twin motor in it, but it also has a high and a low ratio. So what that does is it means that, say you're catching, you know, some smaller fish, you've got the high speed going, which is quicker than these models as well.
Yeah.
But say you hook onto a couple of big bass, couple of big pooker, what happens is the motor will actually drop its speed down, put the torque up. So essentially it's got a lot more power.
That's clever.
Yeah, so you're also running another 5 kilos of drag as well. So you're upping the drag, you're upping the power of the reel. This also has Daiwa's mag seal technology as well, so better sealing than the reel. So yeah, if you're after like the real big species of the ocean when it comes to deep dropping and that, this is the reel for you.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so that's the Seaborg 1200. Now there's the big brother, the Seaborg 1800.
Yeah, now that thing's a weapon. So the 1800, that thing rocks out 50 kilos of drag. So anyone that's like taught game reels or any high drag settings will realize 50 kilos is like out the gate. That is a huge amount of drag. It's also, the capacity on it, 1600 meters of PE8.
Far out.
So you're talking, you know, like, you know, this reel here will take 1,000 meters of PE8, so that's 600 meters more. But one of the coolest features on this reel, it comes with a full-on Bluetooth wireless remote. So you can be up in the you know, fly bridge, you could be in the cab of the boat, you could be anywhere if you're using it for teasers or for, you know, if you just want to fish from up in the deck and enjoy the view. Like the wireless remote is unbelievable.
That's my type of fishing, eh?
No,
relax, sit back and wind on up.
It's a cool reel, and the amount of power it's got is just insane. And you know, but as far as capacity goes, so obviously if you want, say, PE8, you want a lot of line on there, it's going to take, like I said, 1600, but for those guys that want to fish really heavy line classes, then it's going to still have the capacity there if you're fishing 100 pound, 130, 150 pound braids. So no, it's a very cool reel.
Okay, so from a heavy duty deep drop perspective, Daiwa's got all bases covered.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, well, we've covered it from whether you're drone fishing, deep dropping, or then deep dropping for really big species, heavier line class, you want heavy drag, you got up to that 1800, even guys want to go for broadies. You know, like the reels are, like the range is really comprehensive.
It sure is.
And like we've got everything nailed and everything's been performing really well.
Wicked. And then we obviously covered it in a previous video, but the smaller electric reels. Now, these are super important. The more I learn about them, the more I tend to love these things. So we covered it from a surface level. Let's dive into it a little bit more and how you'd choose the difference.
So when choosing those reels, obviously, you know, they're not like your big boys that are going to take you 1,000 meters of PE8. Okay. So essentially what you really are targeting with these are your snapper, your terraki, and then going to sort of some of your smaller pooker and that, and sort of the shallower depths. So as far as choosing a reel, you're talking the 300 with 13 kilos of drag, still very adequate drag, but obviously your line capacity is going to be down a bit, so you're 400 meters of PE3, which is still quite adequate. But then the 500 there, you will have 400 meters of a PE4 or 5. You know, you're going to get around that capacity. So it means that if you do hook a pooker and stuff, you're going to have a good chance because you're on a higher rating. You're also talking 15 kilos of drag, so your drag steps up a little bit. Also the 300 is 190 meters per minute, so it's a very fast reel compared to this. So the cool thing with that is if you're, say, dropping a lot, like you're dropping baits back up, you know, and maybe sort of that 70 to 90 meters, and you're rebaiting a lot, the 300 is probably a really good option because of that speed. You're getting it up and down and back into the bite zone really quick.
So it's actually super similar technology and spec-wise to the larger models.
Definitely. Like, you know, these are just miniature versions of what the big boys are made to do. It's just really just scaling down the species and your PE ratings that you're fishing on them.
Because a lot of people actually go, that's a smaller reel, shouldn't it be half the price, you know?
100%. And look, at the end of the day, the same technology goes into all these reels. You know, and anyone knows, you know, like look at watchmakers, they make stuff small, stuff gets more expensive. So it comes down to the technology that's in these. So to make them as small as they are and as powerful they are, a lot of technology goes into them.
So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about the small electric reels and the applications and that sort of thing, there's a video that we did previously. We'll link it down below. Cool, man. So that's a really good overview of the entire electric reel range that you guys at Daiwa have. Now, I know this is going to be too much to cover off in the same video, so we'll do something separate for you guys later on, but give us a real top line overview of how we select the right deep drop or rod for this electric reel range.
Yeah, no, that's a real important question. It's probably one that people overlook. So obviously with your bigger rods, if you're going for pucker and bass and blue nose and stuff, yeah, you're going to want something obviously like, you know, Tanacom rods, a lot more heavy duty. We tend to not have roller tip guides, okay? You'll tend to go bent butt, so that's pretty sort of standard on those. But yeah, when you come to some of the smaller reels, you want to be careful about what you buy for those, because it really comes down to, are you targeting snapper, are you targeting Cherokee or reef species?
Yep.
You want the rod to be a little bit longer, but obviously not too stiff. You know, you want a little bit of action to it, because these reels have a lot of power. So if you put it on a really high-end, stiff little graphite rod, well, these little reels can blow them to bits.
Yeah.
So it's about choosing the right rod. So yeah, we'll go into rods at another date as far as which models we suit for these. But yeah, it's really important that, you know, when you come in to see these guys, that you actually, you know, you tell them what you're wanting to do. You know, what are you targeting, what depth are you targeting, what PE ratings, because it is really important to suit the reel to the rod, because if you do that properly, you're going to have a really balanced set and it's going to work really well.
So we're obviously filming this in mid-June in New Zealand. It's that time of year where deep dropping is pretty prominent.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you've got the whiskey out, so it definitely shows that it's coming into winter, and to be honest, the last sort of few days it started to really get cold. So obviously that's perfect time where, you know, your bass, your pucker, your blue nose and that are really good to go catch or in good nick. So yeah, so get yourself an electric reel and honestly make it easier on yourself.
Yeah, yep, I agree. Now, Justin here has been kind enough to get out his pen and paper, as he likes to do, and write down a bit of an article buying guide as to which electric reel suits you best. So we're going to take that piece of paper, type it up, put it modern technology, slap it on the website, and we'll link it down below for you guys to read for yourselves.
Sweet.
Thanks again, mate, for popping in.
No worries.
Yeah, there's endless things we could do this for in the Daiwa range, so I'm beginning to quite like your company, which is strange, but yeah, we'll do this a bit more often, and we'll dive into the whole range that Daiwa's got to offer here in New Zealand.
Yeah, no, look forward to it, man, and like I said, we love educating people, you know.
Cool, let's go. I want to ride up. Cool. And the Bluetooth remote. Talk to me about Bluetooth technology. How does that work?
So Bluetooth technology, I mean, if anyone's got a modern car these days, okay? So you thought I was going to fail there.
Yeah, I did.
What do you think? What are you
I was trying to trip him up.
You fucking can't get me.
I was hoping you were going to go into like microwave links and shit.
Fuck, I could have. I was about to go there. You stopped me.
Oh, wow.